Hey guys, welcome back to Arry the Stag. It's TR Tony here, sat in a motorway services somewhere near Southampton. The day is Tuesday. We've had the wonderful experience of the weekend with UES 591S coming back from Kings Lynn, and you saw the rather difficult journey home, but we got the car back to Stag Classics, as you know. So I've been in dialogue with Paul, and it turns out we think that the gearbox is actually gone. Whether it was a lack of fuel, lack of oil in the casing or what, we're not quite sure, but looks like it needs a refurb. Understandably, I suppose, really, when you think about it, because the car was sat for 12 years before we wanged it down the M11. Probably didn't do it any good. Anyway, the good news, I was a bit concerned actually initially, because we thought it was a Borg Warner 65 box that should be in the car, because it was quite a late one, and that was our kind of early kind of impressions. But as it turns out, when Paul got the gearbox out yesterday, Monday, having dropped the car back on Saturday, you remember we dropped it off on the way back home, it turns out there is a Borg Warner 35 in there, which is absolutely fantastic news, because the plumbing has all been altered and done and whatever, and it is a good fit for a BW 35, not a 65, which kind of explaining myself means it's great news for us, because if you remember, about 6 months ago we had Andy the Clutch come in and give us an exchange unit for our BW 35 off our UNY 49M car. So we've actually had a completely reconned, serviced and raring to go Borg Warner 35 box in our garage for 6 months. So cut a long story short, it makes perfect sense to use that box right now, get the repair done, save a few quid right here, right now, and then obviously when the gearbox comes back from Paul, the old one from UES, then we can use that to exchange again with Andy and get another box, so that UNY will be sorted when eventually it gets back on the road. So cunning plan, but I'm sure it's going to lead to some great things. So I've just stopped on the M27 now. I'm on the way up to Paul's. I've got the gearbox in the back, which I'll just show you in a second, and we'll see what we can see up there and see how he's getting on with the car. He's gone through it a lot, so I think there's some little niggles that he was sorting as well whilst it was in there. Made sense to do. So hopefully we're going to get the car back on Friday/Saturday, so we'll share with you that journey as well when it happens. Okay, let's have a look at the gearbox, and I'll show you what our gearbox looks like. And ignoring the rather loud traffic noise from the M27, I've just zipped round the back of the Mitzi. Such a good car this, it really is. I'm really going to miss it when it goes. We're going to replace it soon, but anyway, under this rug here in the back, you can see that Arry and I, late last night, managed to get the Borg Warner 35 gearbox out of the garage. It does weigh a fair bit, and this is the kit that Andy in Wales did for us. He specialises in Borg Warner boxes, which are world renowned for their reliability, and what he does is recon old tired ones and put them back together completely inside and out. You can't see there, but there's actually a torque converter tucked away, braced with a bit of wood. That's what those two bolts are here, and one on the other side, just holding it all up. And there we go. So good news. We'll hot foot now to Paul's and see what we can do with this. I guess I'm getting the old one back, but we will see. Apparently the difference, if you want to know, Borg Warner 65 has a flange back here. The Borg Warner 35 has splines into which it goes into the prop shaft. So if ever you want to know, that's how you easily tell the difference. I guess you could tell the difference by the code on the side here if you were to look really closely, but apparently that's the difference. So Borg Warner 35 is splined, as you can see here, and a Borg Warner 65 is flanged, just like a flange that would go on a manual gearbox to the prop shaft. So if ever you want to know, as I say, that's the difference. He's done a good job, hasn't he? Arry the Stag. And here we are, Red Hill Farm, home of Stag Classics. We have arrived. Okay, well, we've arrived at Stag Classics, and UES 591S is up on the ramp as we speak. I've just had a quick shifty round with Paul, and basically the car is good. A few little things to look at, things like the exhaust. It's got a bit of a blow, simply because these pipes aren't pulled forward enough, so that they will do. Looking forward, a little bit of a leak from the differential, you can just see that there, but we're going to have a look at that. And then coming forward through to the gearbox itself, as you can see, it's now out. Not necessarily been wired up right, but the engine looks good, structurally looks all right, so that's really cool. And there it is over here, the gearbox is out already. Borg Warner 35, it's going to be replaced with the torque converter as well. And as we were saying, it doesn't look like it's been that long redone, but obviously it's not been looked after, which is why it failed at the weekend. But we'll replace the box with ours one, as we said. But overall, suspension looking good, clean and tidy, not too badly corroded either, so the base looks all right. We think it probably was a inky yellow at one time. There's a touch of yellow paint, you can just about see that in the darkness here. But overall, Paul says we've got a good car, and we should be back on the road in due course. So just wandering around underneath again, and then back up here, and he said that the driver's door's been sorted, so that now opens and shuts. And all in all, it's coming together. So a good job, a good car. A few little things to sort, but we're hoping to get that back on the road very soon. Thanks, Pete. So just having a look now at the outside, dropped it down a little bit on the ramps, and very much all together. We're getting the seat backs done, so they're going to be replaced before we bring it back. So the driver's door was a little bit tired, as we know, and the handle itself on the driver's door had to be replaced because the thing had been masticed in and wasn't that well done, but there we go, that's all been fixed. So they're doing a brilliant job, and we're on target for picking up on Saturday, all being well. That'll be an exciting red letter day.
So you got that?
Seat stuffing. So this is going to be a well sorted Stag by the time we get it back. I'm really chuffed. The boys are doing a fantastic job here. Engine's looking really nice. It's running sweeter than that apparently. They went through it yesterday. And with the seats done as well, which Pete's just going to do. We'll head down to Southampton to get the foams sorted as well for the car. And
Right, Michael, reference my message to you last night.
okay, so a pretty full car park as you can see at Paul's, so he's a very busy man, and quite a few cars in tow in the garage itself, as well as ours now. With this is the old box now going back, so we'll be taking this back to Andy in due course. So Pete's just making sure that we don't lose the torque converter, otherwise we'll have oil over the back of the car. And then I've offered to take down the seat foams to Henry Street in Southampton, and as a mate of Paul's who does seats, so we're going to get that sorted on the way back, save a journey down, and all should be good hopefully by Friday straight Saturday. We'll be back here then to pick it up, fingers crossed. Alright guys, so that's really good news. Paul and the gang are on the case there with Pete. Head inside the bonnet. We found a blowing manifold as well, so that's going to get done and make sure that's all straight. Also a bit of a fuel leak too from underneath, so we're not quite sure where that's coming from. It could mean a new petrol tank, we'll have to see, but at least we're getting all the safety things done now, and it is an up together well sorted Stag, or it will be very soon. I'm heading down now to Henry Street in Southampton. Paul's got a mate who does refettling of Stag seats, so to save a journey, as I said, I'll be taking those down now and dropping them off to him to get done, and we're all on target, fingers crossed, subject to fuel tanks and everything else being okay, for Saturday morning to come and collect. So obviously I'll film that and show you what's going on then. But thanks for sharing the journey, really great to have you along with us. Don't forget ever to like, share and subscribe, and if you haven't got a badge of honour already, then please feel free to click on our website, download it, and you can get it for free. We'll send you one in the post. So that's it for now. We'll see you online on Arry the Stag very soon. All the best guys, cheers for now, exciting times.